All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Also blessings and salutations unto the elect of YAHAWAH, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the hopeful elect that I came out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching and prophesying through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, those who might look like the other nations but are of the nation of Israel on their father's side by blood. And as you can see in the title, ain't no going back. Just kind of hit the button, didn't have too much prepared, but it was one of the lesson titles I had, in my notes. Certain titles jump in my head, or I read something and think of that, and I get it put it down on the list, man. And this one stood out to me, and just considering everything that's going on, ain't no turning back. There ain't no turning back. Ultimately, where I wanted to start was in Habakkuk chapter 2. All right, and it says Habakkuk 2:1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right, so we waiting upon the Lord, what he wants to be, what he wants spoken. Okay. And another thing is through the spirit, how the elder apostle Tahar, deems each year, okay, at the beginning of their year, I'll say around New Year's time, New Year's Eve of destruction, they do the lessons, and through the spirit, it comes out, and this was our destruction of Esau, Edom, in the hopeful of our deliverance. And just look at what Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi has done. Look at what he's done. And man, the brothers was just talking about things that was happening. Well, things that we noticed from 2018, 2019, 2020, and just realizing like it's 5-6 years later from there, and it don't even seem like it's been that long. All right, so the Lord is definitely shortening the days for the elect's sake, and Lord willing, we be of that number. But nonetheless, we definitely, that's one thing, and I did a lesson a while ago saying that's one thing that the whole world has to agree upon, is that time is speeding up. Days are being shortened, weeks are being shortened, months are being shortened. We already about to be in the 7th month of this year, and so much has happened. It's not even over yet. All right, and that's why this that title stood out to me. Ain't no going back, because shoot, for one, Esau is going to continue. The more he fights for the more he fights for his birthright. Ooh, that's a lesson. The more he fight for his birthright, the more the closer we are to going home, because him getting his birthright pretty much entails him controlling the world as if he is the Most High. Okay, so what? Biometric, digital IDs, that RFID within your hand. Okay, his AI technology giving you advice and giving you judgment and giving you entertainment. Pretty much his technology being worshipped as a god, man. Okay, now I'm gonna go into Habakkuk 2:2. It says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. Speaking about the prophecies, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Right, I want to get that definition of appointed. All right, Because being that it is in I'm thinking of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter now. Okay. Because what in Ecclesiastes it's a time and a season for everything, right? And we can definitely see what time we in now. All right, it's the time of judgment. It's the time of prophecy. It's the time of revelation. You know, the prophecies are being revealed. The mysteries are coming to, the prophecies coming to pass, and mysteries are being revealed, man. All right, so we got the Hebrew word, mawa'id. Okay, it says appointed place, appointed time, meeting, appointed time in general, sacred season, set feast, appointed season. It's just like the feast days that the Lord has given us. You can't just do the Pesach whenever you want. You can't do the Day of Atonement whenever you want. You know, there was certain times of the years that it was given. The Feast of Weeks, all right, so on and so forth, man. Or Pentecost, you know, it's 50 days after the Pesach. Okay, so certain feasts and certain times was for certain seasons, man. I mean, certain holy days was for certain times and certain seasons. It says appointed meeting, appointed place, appointed sign or signal, right? So going back into it, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right, it's set for a particular moment in on the Lord's timeline. That's how I look at it. Then that he declared the end from the beginning. YAHAWASHI has a timeline. All right, and all of these points are on it. Okay, Israel attacking Iran, and then U.S. attacking Iran, all right, and whatever, all that, Trump being in office, so on, all of the Lord controls all of that. Okay, it says he governed the world. What's that? Sirach 18. He governed the world and all obey his will. All right, that's just what it is. Okay, and these things, he set things in place for an appointed time. All right, because when I started the video, I was also thinking of Hosea, the 1st chapter. You know, because there was a point of time, there was a point in time where we didn't have this truth. We didn't have this knowledge. We didn't have a name. We didn't have the language. All right, we didn't have any rights to the Bible except your average Christian. Well, it was an appointed time that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall you be found, shall be found the sons of the living power, man. So this is that place, okay, that was appointed. And the time when it came in, you know, about the 1970s, around there, that was that appointed time for those dry bones to start receiving, you know, sinews and flesh, okay, and then be prophesied toward, and then get the spirit, okay, of YAHAWASHI, and you know, become alive, man. All right. Make sure I'm over a little bit more. So let me see. So I can. All right, so yeah. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. You know, and that's why so much is going on, and so many things are just a domino effect, because one thing is leading to another. One thing is increasing another. It seemed like since the CVID hit, that it's just been, time really sped up. You know, then, you know, in my personal opinion, That's when things really start hitting the fan, because that was the prelude to the MOTB. All right, that was pretty much they plan to see if they can actually get the see if the world was actually dumb enough, to pretty much be victim of a problem reaction solution. Okay, so now the every day that passed, the closer we get to the end, the more things that are going to be manifest. The more things is going to be manifest, the bolder the men of the Lord, all right, and a few women, a few sisters of the Lord, all right, the elect at the end of the day is gonna be, because it's like, oh man, we almost out of here. Like, shoot, what was that? Just 3 days ago when US struck Iran. Now they're talking about ain't no forgiveness, pretty much. Ain't no peace. We ain't gonna forget. This gonna happen. If they talking about shutting the Strait of Hormuz, all right, which is gonna affect the economy. Well, we always talked about the crashing of the dollar. We always talked about a famine coming. Okay, we always talked about martial law. Because what do you think is going to happen when there is not enough food, when there is not enough resources out here? All right, what do you think is going to happen? Like, and I'm just really thinking about Americans more so, because this is the place where people are so pampered and so spoiled. The American people are spoiled, man. Just like those little brat kids that talk to their parents crazy. Their parents give them everything they want. They don't give them no discipline or none of that. So then they end up growing up hitting their parents or whatever. Like, that's how Americans are in general. They're a bunch of spoiled brats that's used to getting their way. And when they don't get their way, they're going to throw a temper tantrum. And they're going to act out and act up and embarrass the parent. Except for this time, the parent is going to bring a big-ass belt in a form of martial law. All right? It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, right? Because it's going to manifest itself. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, which is talking about the prophecies. It might seem like it's taking a while, or will take a while. But for the longest, you had a bunch of people saying, well, when it's going to happen? Well, y'all been saying that and this and that. But now these things are manifest. It's right in front of your face. If you don't see it, that's because you don't want to see it. All right. If you don't want to see it, if you don't see it, that's because you don't want to see it. But we in the time where it ain't no turning back. Technically it ain't been no turning back since the beginning, because that's when the end was declared. But I'm trying to think of this precept. What is it? All right, this is Hebrews 1:1. It says, the Most High, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world. So even back then they were speaking about the last days. All right. So it just, these prophecies had to be waited for an appointed time. Okay. Now we're at the point where there ain't no going back. Okay, the U.S. people already, these different nations are starting to already get fed. They've been fed up with Israel's bullshit. They've been fed up with the U.S. But now it's starting to manifest, because you ain't just getting away with doing what you want to do, just bombing them and them not doing anything back. All right. Or even the U.S., them being, attempting to be innocent in a sense or whatever. A bunch of your propaganda be getting exposed. You can't maneuver how you used to at a point in time. All right, and that's why the scriptures say, for the devil knoweth that he have a short time, therefore he come down with great wrath. Okay? So this man got nowhere to go except forward. All right, that's why I like in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, says all things continue when the fathers fell asleep. Meaning the prophets of old, the men of old, that wrote down these scriptures and prophesied and saw visions, they fell asleep. Right? They ain't, they didn't live on from there in order for their message to pass. No, it came in the form of the book, and they was reincarnated and out there, or was out there speaking if they haven't passed on. But for sure, they came back and they was prophesying and revealing the things that they wrote in times past. Well, that's what it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. It says the father fell asleep, but all things continue, man. Okay? All things continue. And once again, now that we in a position, as brothers been saying a whole lot more lately, we in beautiful times. Ain't no turning back. What? The damage is already done. Matter of fact, gotta get that. 2nd Ezra 4. And I'm going to start at 26. It says, then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hasteth fast to pass away. And that's why it's decaying the way it is. Morally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. Everybody all out of whack. And seem like they got mental problems, man. They're going crazy because this is the end, and they're starting to feel the end, right? Through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, we saw the end years ago, but now these other people are starting to feel it, feel what we was talking about through the spirit. Okay, and they don't have the knowledge and wisdom to be stable. We have that now to be stable in these times, and Lord willing, in the times to come. So a lot of more of these people, like I said, you see a lot of people making videos saying, am I the only one that feel this and feel that? No, all y'all starting to feel. Y'all starting to understand. It's by force. So you just think it's life happening, but the Lord is showing. All right, this is the end of a place. It's hasted fast to pass away. It says, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. Okay, the promises that was given, the new covenant, new bodies, kingdom of heaven, salvation, immortality. All right, all of that is on the way for the righteous. Okay, and ultimately the kingdom, the nation of Israel. It says, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. And that's exactly what it is. And people are to the point where at a point in time they had fun and they partied in the unrighteousness and the infirmities and the wickedness and the iniquity and the sin. But now it's not enough, because reality is starting to knock at the door, man. They was coming. Reality was coming to collect. Okay. It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Right? And that's this place. There's evil, nothing but evil sown in this place. That's why this is that whore that sitteth upon the dragon. This is the country that went to go bully of the whole world and do what it wanted and didn't keep at home and took lands and took resources and took men and so on and so forth. Did all the atrocities, whatever, did what it wanted to do throughout the earth. The evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, meaning this place is too. Hey, what was I about to say? It's too late to turn back. All right, from its wickedness. Imagine, like, you can't even get one school to be on one accord and not think within the realm of America. all right, within the ways of this life, let alone a whole country. No, it's too far gone. All right, it's too late. Okay. It says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So this place has to go in order for the kingdom of heaven to come, man. And now we're seeing, I'm gonna say this, now it's manifesting how that's gonna come about. Because through the Spirit, we already seen it. All right, because we look not at the things that are temporal. All right, we thinking ahead of the game, man. Look at the eternal things. Things are gonna last, man. Kingdom of heaven and righteousness ruling throughout the earth, being joint heirs with YAHAWASHI. Okay. So yeah, man. I through the Spirit of YAHAWASHI. I just wanted to get into that, man. Ain't no going back, you know. We already here. We on a lot of people getting scared now because the U.S. has gotten involved, you know. But hey, for a good little while, you was feeling good about yourself. You know, you thought you was untouchable and nothing would ever happen. You just keep being wicked and until you bust your ass at that job and retire at 67 and shit and live out the remaining 3 to 5 years of your life after you done work majority of it. What kind of sense is that? That's just wild. All right. But hey, call all y'all about Shemal Shai, man. Salvation is looking nearer than when we believe, you know. So with that, Lord willing, you was edified. And once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.